How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. A major company is investing into Bitcoin. Let's talk about that. It just came out that Reddit has been buying Bitcoin. They've also bought some other cryptocurrencies, and it's invigorating the market a little bit. Bitcoin just hit 52,000. It's down just slightly since then, but it breathed some life into the market and it's getting people thinking again. And I want to talk about that. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one. Also, there is a link down there to Margex in case you want to trade cryptocurrency on leverage. You can check out the link underneath the video. You get deposit bonus. You don't need to KYC, which means you don't need to fill out know your customer information like your social security number, your name, that kind of stuff. There's also an MP shield that they have. So this helps stop price manipulation and stops you from being liquidated as easily. Of course, always make sure that you do your own due diligence and risk assessment when leverage trading. Now, cryptocurrency is up a little bit in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin sitting right around 52,000. And we just got this news. Reddit invested excess cash reserves into Bitcoin, according to an SEC filing. Now, this is coming out because they are now planning an IPO. So they said that they invested some of the excess cash reserves in Bitcoin and Ethereum and also acquired Ether and Matic as a form of payment for sales of certain virtual goods, which we may do in the future. Ether and Matic received from sales of virtual goods was not material for the ends of 2022 and 2023. We also acquired and hold digital assets that are cryptocurrencies for use by our product and engineering team. So, okay, they accepted some Bitcoin, or they accepted some crypto. They also are kind of playing around with crypto, trying to use it for different things. They say, though, as of December 31st, we did not hold any digital assets other than Bitcoin and Ethereum for treasury purposes. And our investment policy requires approval by our board of directors for any investments in cryptocurrency. They go on to talk about how it needs to be approved. They buy things that are not likely to be a security, and they may invest into cryptocurrencies in the future. Now, from what I could tell, it looks like Reddit does maybe right around $1 billion a year. Obviously, it's a very well-known company, but it's not like they're probably buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin, right? This is significant though, because a lot of people get stuck thinking, okay, it's just like maybe Coinbase, it's buying a little bit, some ETFs, MicroStrategy. That's the only people buying Bitcoin. The only corporate companies, the only corporate treasuries buying Bitcoin. But that's not the case. If you look here on Buy Bitcoin Worldwide, there are actually a lot of companies, public companies that we know that hold Bitcoin. For example, the ones that might come to mind, MicroStrategy, Marathon, Tesla, Hut 8, Coinbase, Block, Riot, CleanSpark, even Voyager is still on the list. Like, there are those companies, right? And then there are private companies that we know about too, like Mt. Gox, Block.one, Tether, BitMEX. Tether's a big one that continuously buys more Bitcoin, and they just started like a few years ago. The thing is, though, there are a lot of companies that we don't know that buy Bitcoin. For example, I feel like I had heard about Reddit maybe investing into cryptocurrency or doing something with cryptocurrency, but I don't think we knew that it was at the level that they have it as part of their corporate treasury. We still don't know how much they own, but this is another company that owns crypto. There are a bunch of crypto companies, or a lot of companies that you wouldn't even really understand that they own crypto, except for a couple tidbits where we've heard about it. For example, Elon Musk owns crypto himself. He owns Bitcoin and Ethereum, I believe he said, and Dogecoin. His companies also own it. Like, obviously Tesla owns Bitcoin, but he said that SpaceX also owns Bitcoin. So like, that's another private company. We have no idea how much they own. How many other companies are out there that are adding it to their balance sheet? Like small companies and big companies. Who knows? It's impossible to know. But when we hear about things like this, like Reddit, it is a good reminder. We also have other people that invest in crypto that don't really talk about it much, but like we know Tim Cook has invested into cryptocurrency. This is the kind of stuff that gets people excited again. And this isn't the end of this. There's going to be another company that talks about this. I'm thinking there's going to be a big splashy announcement from some big tech company again, just like we saw Tesla last cycle. I would not be surprised to see some big splashy headline about some company adding Bitcoin to their corporate treasury. I mean, we know that some companies, even like Amazon, are experimenting with NFTs. They are experimenting with crypto. I would not be surprised if some company said, oh, we're going to buy $1 billion or $100 million of Bitcoin, something like that, that gets more eyes on Bitcoin and adds some fuel to the fire. Now, is this going to really push up Bitcoin to new all-time highs? I don't know. I don't know if something as like Reddit announcing that they own some Bitcoin is going to do it. Last cycle we had Tesla, which is so much bigger than Reddit. But again, it's just a good reminder that there is going to be a lot of news like this. Like, this is just the beginning. Now, some people think that we're going to head back down, that, you know, we're going to see a big pullback because maybe we're in a phase of the market where people are getting too overly excited too early. British Hodl has a very different perspective. He says a perpetual Bitcoin cycle has begun. It started on January 11th. It's never ending. It's everlasting. We go up, we consolidate, we go up again. We may have some downs. They will be blunted, muted by the sheer force of the cash demand for Bitcoin. And this is something that I've talked about before. There's unlimited demand for Bitcoin because there's unlimited printing. There's unlimited currency that can be added, right? There's unlimited amounts of cash out there, and it's just going to continue going up, right? When you think about like an S&P 500 index, the reason it goes up is because of increased productivity, right, of these companies, increased revenues and stuff like that. Where does that come from? It comes from increasing the money supply. It's really eerie when you look at how much the money supply has increased compared to how much the S&P 500 has increased. So those are pretty much on par for each other. Like, you invest in the S&P 500, you basically get whatever the money supply increases. Now, with something scarce like Bitcoin, you can actually make up ground because there are more people coming into it. That's the difference. It goes up with the money supply, but also goes up with more and more people joining in, trying to get their hands on Bitcoin, which is why you can outperform. I actually have a couple really good videos coming out in the next few days with people from across the crypto space. Really interesting. So hit subscribe so you can make sure that you see those. Let me know your thoughts about Reddit underneath the video as well. Let me know if you think this is significant or if we're going to forget about it by next week. Let me know in the comment section. Just a reminder too, like, make sure you keep your head about you in these times. Make sure that you're plugged in. These are the times where you want to be paying attention to the market, because a quick piece of news, some piece of news on a Thursday night can make huge differences in the market. It can change the course of where the market's going. So make sure you stay plugged in. Make sure that you're paying attention. There's also a link underneath the video in case you want to see my Twitter. A lot of the time I'll like or retweet stuff that I think is important or that I want to hit on in video, so you can always look for that. There's also that link to Margex, and there's a link to HGAlgo. I had someone email me asking how I'm determining bullish and bearish signals and dollar cost averaging signals. Like, how do I show that on the chart? I didn't show it today, but I've shown that in the past. That's through HGAlgo, so definitely check that out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video.